नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. So today we are reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 8. Lord Krishna shows the universal form. Text 18 and 19. 18 does not have a purport, so together we will recite 19. Just read the text and the translation of 18. Ya etasmin mahabhaga priting kurvanti manavaha narayo vibhavantyetan vishnu pakshan ivasuraha. Demons, asuras, cannot harm the demigods, who always have Lord Vishnu on their side. Similarly, any person or group attached to Krishna is extremely fortunate, because such persons are very much affectionate toward Krishna. They cannot be defeated by demons like the associates of Kamsa, or by the internal enemies, the senses. Text 19. So please repeat after me. Tasmat Nanda Atmajah Ayam Te Narayana Samaha Gunaihi Shriya Kirtya Anubhavena Gopayasva Samahitah Tasmannandatmajo Yangte Narayana Samo Gunaihi Shriya Kirtyanubhavena Gopayasva Samahitah Tasmannandatmajo Yangte Narayana Samo Gunaihi Shriya Kirtyanubhavena Gopayasva Samahitah Tasmannandatmajo Yangte Narayana Samo Gunaihi Shriya Kirtyanubhavena Gopayasva Samahitah. Tasmat Nandatmajo Yangte Narayana Samo Gunaihi Shriya Kirtyanubhavena Gopayasva Samahitah Tasmannandatmajo Yangte Narayana Samo Gunaihi Gopayasva Samahitah. Matajis. Tasmannandatmajo Yangte नारायण समो गुणैः कीर्त्यानुभावेन उपायस्व समाहितः तस्मान्नन्दात्मजो यङ्क्ते नारायण समो गुणैः श्रिया कीर्त्यानुभावेन उपायस्व समाहितः तस्मात् therefore Nanda, O Nanda Maharaja, Atmajah, your son, I am this, te, of you, Narayana Samaha, is as good as Narayana. Narayana himself showing transcendental qualities. Gunaihi, by qualities. Shriya, by opulence. Kirtya, especially by his name and fame. Anubhavena, and by his influence. Gopayasva, just raise this child. Samahitaha, with great attention and precaution. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, founder Acharya Viscount. Translation. In conclusion, therefore, O Nanda Maharaja, the child of yours is as good as Narayana. In his transcendental qualities, opulence, name, fame, and influence, he is exactly like Narayana. You should all raise this child very carefully and cautiously. Purport. In this verse, the word Narayana Samaha is significant. Narayana has no equal. He is Asamordhva. No one is equal to him and no one is greater than he is. As stated in Shastra, Yastu Narayanam Devam Brahma Rudradi Daivataihi Samatvenaiva Viksheta Sapashandi Bhavedhruvam. One who equates Narayana even with great exalted demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma is a Pashandi and agnostic. No one can equal Narayana. Nonetheless, Garga Muni used the word Sama, meaning equal, because he wanted to treat Krishna as the supreme personality of Godhead who had become Nanda Maharaja's son. Garga Muni wanted to impress upon the mind of Nanda Maharaja. Your worshipable deity, Narayana, is so pleased with you that he has sent you a son almost equal to him in qualifications. Therefore, you may designate your son with a similar name such as Mukunda or Madhusudana. But you must always remember that whenever you want to do something very good, there will be many hindrances. Therefore, you should raise and protect this child with great care. If you can protect this child very cautiously, as Narayana always protects you, the child will be as good as Narayana. Garga Muni also indicated that although the child was exaltedly qualified like Narayana, he would enjoy more than Narayana as Rasa Vihari, the central enjoyer of the Rasa dance. As stated in the Brahma Samhita, Lakshmi Sahasra Shatasambrama Sevyamanam, he would be served by many gopis who would all be as good as the goddess of fortune. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vikas Swaminiti Namine. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashtatya Deshatarine. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we are continuing to hear the glorification of Garga Muni upon when Nanda Maharaj asked to name his son. He named his son, and he actually was explaining who is this son of yours. We heard in so many verses, at least from text 11, Garga 11 and 12, I think, Garga Muni starts glorifying about the position of Krishna, how indirectly he is pointing out that actually he is Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he is also explaining what he will do. He will help you to come out of all the obstacles. He will, and also in the yesterday's verse, we heard that how in his previous life he has killed the demons, Indrari Vyakulam. So those who are enemies of the Indra, he has killed them. So all those glorifications he did. And then in verse 18, he points out that those who are associates of Krishna, those who are on the side of Krishna, are always victorious. There is no defeat for them. Now, this particular verse is what we are seeing now is repeated again in a chapter called the Wonderful Krishna. Because what happens when Krishna performed amazing activities, specifically after the Govardhan Leela, when Krishna lifted the Govardhan, all the devotees of the Vraja, they were completely amazed. They were astonished to see what a great act that was performed by Krishna. So they were asking Nanda Maharaj, what a great son you have, he's a great personality. Then Nanda Maharaj, what he did, he related all these verses. So he said that indeed, whatever Garga spoke, it's all true. So then same verses were repeated there. You can see in I think probably it's in the 26th chapter. So he is repeating all those verses. And the verse number 18, today, although it has not got a purport, there, a small purport is given there. So I just refer to that. So this verse, in this particular verse number 18, there is a beautiful word which is very important. Many places in the scriptures that is being mentioned. Ya etasmin mahabhage Priting kurvanti manavaha narayo abhibhavantyetan Vishnu pakshan ivasuraha. So it is mentioned that Mahabhahe, oh most auspicious. So it could refer to Nanda Maharaj, it could refer to all those, it also refers to Mother Yashoda, it also refers to all those who have great love for Krishna. So this word is being used, Pritim. This is a very important word here in this verse. This word Priti is being used. So those who have great affection for Krishna, who are very much attached to Krishna, or those who are attached to those devotees of Krishna. So in the translation, you can see it is mentioned that any person or group attached to all auspicious Krishna, he says that Vishnu Pakshan Ivasuraha. So those who are on the side of Krishna, or if Krishna is on the side of someone, then they can never be defeated. They will always be protected. They will always be victorious in their life. So this is the aim of the Krishna consciousness movement. We want everyone to come on the side of Krishna. So now we have turned our faces away from Krishna, and then we are loitering in this material world. So many lifetimes you have wasted. So but the scriptures are pointing out your life is going to be a thorough defeat if you don't take shelter of Krishna. But real success for your life begins when you become attached to Krishna. So that is the mission of the Krishna consciousness movement, to help the fallen conditioned souls somehow or other bring them back to the lotus feet of Krishna. So here in the purport by Srila Prabhupada disciples, they make a point that they say Srila Prabhupada has especially indicated in this connection that just as Lord Krishna's associates could not be defeated by Kamsa. So Kamsa had a massive plan. He sent all the powerful asuras to kill Krishna and his associates as well, but none of them, they could not do anything because they are always being protected by the Lord, by his various energies they are being protected. So he says that, and then a very nice point is made. So his modern day devotees will not be defeated by their demoniac opponents. So the devotees, they have faith in the holy name, they have faith in the words of the scriptures. So they go out and then preach Krishna consciousness. So having faith that the Lord's protection is there, the Lord's devotees' protections are there. So the whole parampara is behind us. So we should go out and preach and then not be scared and sit inside. And then, so there are two things. So externally also we will be protected. So what happens when you take shelter of Krishna? Externally also we will be protected when we go out and do various activities. But then we need more protection. The most important protection is we need internally, because we have enemies. We may think that enemies are outside, but enemies are right inside our heart. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Mada, Matsarya, very powerful enemies. So here it is mentioned that So his modern day devotees will not be defeated by the demoniac opponents, nor will the Lord's devotees be defeated by the internal enemies. So there is a, I don't remember the verse, but it's a very nice verse where when Rukmini is offering prayer, glorifying Krishna, after Krishna, he kind of teases Rukmini that he's not a best fit for her. Then one of the verse, she says that, my dear Lord, you are right in front, like a commander-in-chief. You know, in the battle, when the commander-in-chief is in the front and he helps the soldiers to go forward and fight against the enemy. So she says that, so like that, the Lord, he is there sitting inside the heart as Paramatma. He is giving all the support and guidance and protection to the devotees who are engaged in his service. So we are all conditioned in this material world. We are suffering with our mind and senses. But if we have faith in Krishna's holy name, in Krishna's devotees, and then go on with the process of Krishna consciousness, Krishna himself is right there to protect us and help us to come out of this conditioning. Now there is again an interesting word that is used in this verse. Vishnu Pakshan Ivasuraha. So for those of you who have read the first chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, there is a one very, very interesting quote Srila Prabhupada gives in one of the purport. So he says that Jayeshu Panduputranam, and then Esham Pakshi Janardanaha. So he says that, so victory is there for Pandavas. Wherever Janardana is on Pandava's side, so victory is very much there. So I just remember that verse, and always we never knew the source of that verse. It was very interesting when we were studying the Bhagavad Gita. So Prabhupada quotes that. So similar, this verse also, Vishnu Pakshan Ivasuraha. So Vishnu is on their side. So that's what the verse explains. Now in today's verse, so it's a kind of a concluding verse. Garga, he makes the point that now he says that your son is as good as Narayana. So now we can see in all these verses, as we were recollecting and repeating these points, we can see throughout these chapters, many chapters, that because the predominance of the Vatsalya Bhav and the mood of the Gopas and the Gopis in Vrindavan, they don't see Krishna as God. Krishna is one amongst them, in the sense that he is their lovable object. They only think of his welfare. So here, now further to increase that mood, here Garga Muni, he points out the child of yours is as good as Narayana. And then he says that Narayana Samo Gunaihi, he has qualities like that of Lord Narayana. And then while pointing out that, also it is mentioned here, so Srila Jiva Goswami, he points out what Srila Prabhupada has mentioned here. He's just a little bit elaborating on that. He says that the comparison is Krishna is being compared to Narayana. So he's making the point that the hidden meaning, Samaha, is he to whom Narayana is similar. He has more qualities than Narayana. By showing similarity of an object of comparison with the main object, lesser status of the object of comparison is indicated. So that's the point. So Krishna is superior in qualities such as being fixed in dharma and mercy, and is superior in his form. So in the scriptures it is mentioned, Siddhantas Tvabedapi Srila Krishna Swarupayoho. Then it is explained that Rasenot Krishyate Krishna Rupam Esha Rasastitihi. So there is no difference between Krishna and Narayana. They are same, but in terms of rasa, in terms of the rasa vishar, Krishna is more sweeter. So that is the point being made. So that is what exactly here Srila Prabhupada is also pointing out, and also all the previous acharyas are pointing out that here. So that is what here Garga Muni is indicating. He is actually indicating that, although he is using the comparison that he is as good as Narayana, but then you can see in the purport Srila Prabhupada, he goes on to explain few more points. Srila Prabhupada says, here Srila Prabhupada gives the hint in the purport. He makes the point that you have to protect your child very cautiously and take care of him. And then he says, as Narayana always protects you. So like how Narayana takes care of you, like that you please take care of him. Then he says, Garga Muni also indicated that although the child was exaltedly qualified, like Narayana, he would enjoy more than Narayana as Rasa Vihari. So here he is indicating that the central enjoyer of the Rasa dance. So then Prabhupada, he quotes about Lakshmi Sahasra Sata Sambrahma Sevyamanam. So this is the, this actually is the exact point that is being made in this verse, that so this boy is as good as Narayana, but actually he is Krishna, the Supreme Lord. He is the Rasovaisa, he is actually the reservoir of all pleasure. He is enjoying all the bliss. And Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, in his commentary, he makes some additional points as well. Yeah, he says, it is prescribed that you should chant the names Mukunda, Madhusudana and Narayana. So he's as good as Narayana. So these names of Mukunda, Madhusudana and Narayana, you can call him like that. Then the Acharyas explain that. So we can see in the later chapters, the gopis are calling him sometimes as Mukunda, sometimes as Madhusudana and like that. So that is another explanation that is given. So then he goes on to explain that. Yeah, that last it is explained in the previous verses. He says that this sun will protect you from all disturbances. Like yesterday's verse we heard, like when Indra comes, there are enemies of Indra, the Asuras are there. So the Lord descends to protect Indra from his enemies. So it's like that, Lord Narayana, how the Narayana helps the living entities from different disturbances, your sun will also help. Yeah. So, yes, that's the point that's being made. Now, Srila Prabhupada, specifically in this purport, he makes one very important point, which we can try to understand. He's in the beginning of the purport, he's making the point that Narayana Samaha. So, this word he's taking and then he's explaining that there is no one equal to Narayana. No one can be equal to Narayana. And as the scriptures explain, Asamurdva, there is no one equal to him and no one above him. And then Srila Prabhupada quotes that if someone equates himself to Narayana, what is the problem? So how it is completely wrong. So he gives the reference, Yastu Narayanam Devam Brahma Rudradi Daivataihi Samatvenaiva Viksheta Sapashandi Bhavedruvam. One who equates Narayana even with great exalted demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma is a Pashandi or agnostic. No one can be equal to Narayana. Now in this verse, a comparison is being made of if someone is even equating to the demigods like Lord Brahma or Lord Shiva, is considered a Pashandi. Then what to speak of an ordinary Jiva? That is what is happening. Now in this relation, there is a nice pastime in the Chaitanya Charitamrita where Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami relates about how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he very specifically, although he is Supreme Personality of Godhead himself, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself, but when he was glorified, that actually he's having all the qualities, his complexion, all his activities, he's directly the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not accept it. He just covered his ears and he said Vishnu, Vishnu, and then he ran away from that place. But then in that regard, the incident is about Balabhadra Bhattacharya. When he heard from the residents of Vrindavana that some of them, they went to the Kaliya Ghat, and then they saw that, there was, they saw from the distance, they saw someone, and then, they thought that it is actually Krishna. Actually, Krishna has come back and then he's dancing over the Kaliya. So then we have seen Krishna. So they were all very excited, and they came and then reported this to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And when Balabhadra Bhattacharya heard this, so he got some inspiration and he said that I would also like to go and take darshan of Krishna. So in that, it's a very instructive lesson in that. So few verses I would like to read, and then we can see the quite some important points there. At the time, Balabhadra Bhattacharya placed a request at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He said, "Please give me permission to go see Lord Krishna directly." So here Srila Prabhupada in the purport, he makes a point. Very instructive point he makes. The puzzled people who visited Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu were actually seeing Lord Krishna, but they were mistaken in thinking that Lord Krishna had come to Kaliya Lake. They all said that they had seen Krishna directly performing his pastimes on the hoods of the serpent Kaliya, and that the jewels on Kaliya's hoods were blazing brilliantly. Because they were speculating with their imperfect knowledge, they saw Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as an ordinary human being and a boatman's light in the lake as Krishna. So now Srila Prabhupada points out that because people have different emotions, different impressions, they assume something. But then the Prabhupada specifically he points out, one must see things as they are through the mercy of a spiritual master. Otherwise, if one tries to see Krishna directly, he may mistake an ordinary man for Krishna or Krishna for an ordinary man. Everyone has to see Krishna according to the verdict of Vedic literatures presented by the self-realized spiritual master. A sincere person is able to see Krishna through the transparent via medium of Sri Gurudev, the spiritual master. Unless one is enlightened by the knowledge given by the spiritual master, he cannot see things as they are, even though he remains constantly with the spiritual master. This incident at Kaliya Deha is very instructive for those eager to advance in Krishna consciousness. So this is a very important point. So with our, we have also been hearing few days back in the Bhagavad Gita classes that, for us, we are actually conditioned, we are controlled by the three modes of material nature. For us on our own to come out of the conditioning, that is not possible. And second thing is also to understand things which are beyond the perception of the senses and the mind. That is also not possible without a help of someone who has come out of this conditioning. The spiritual master, a pure devotee of the Lord, he has already practiced the principles of pure devotion and he has realized the absolute truth. And when we take shelter of him, by his mercy, by his training, we will be able to, gradually we will be able to see the Lord and appreciate him. So that's the point. And that's why we see, when we see many people, they all have so many different kinds of misconceptions. 2 days back on Sunday, we went to meet a person. So he said that, actually I'm God, I know everything. Why you have come to give me this book? I know everything. First, I have been to your Hare Krishna movement. I tried it. Doesn't work. Then I went to another movement, Isha. They spoke about silence. But now I have realized, actually I am God. And I'm planning to write a book also. So he was coming up with so many different kinds of misconceptions. And he says that there is no need of spiritual master, no need of any instructions. We can just realize ourselves. Everything. Now I have realized. So now I am just, exactly this is what he said. I am now hearing the voice from inside and I am very happy. So thanks my friends. You can just go on your way. Like that he was sending us off. But the point is that this is what is the exact thing. So we were just, at the beginning was peace. First he was hearing. So when he was speaking about Parampara, that the books coming in bona fide school, is a pure devotee who has explained his knowledge. He was not interested. So he was not ready to hear. He was completely in some mental platform. He thinks that he knows everything. But he himself is very old, he's almost 75 years old, and now he claims himself to be God. So these are the misconceptions. Actually, that's what this verse says. They are Pashantis, they are complete atheists, and they claim themselves to be God. So Srila Prabhupada points out here. So from this verse, there's a clear indication. So in terms of qualities, because someone claims himself to be God, but what is the qualification you have? What are your qualities? So the Lord has the clear definition about God is given in the scriptures. So we don't speculate about God. So based on the definitions, we accept who is God and who is not God. And also the incarnation. Someone claims himself to be an incarnation. So when you say you are God, so show by your qualities, by your power, show your qualities and then you prove you are God. So which is foolishness. So that's the point. And so then further in this verse, then Prabhupada points out that somebody may study some books, they may have some kind of understanding, but how do we know that our understanding is correct or wrong? Unless we take shelter of Guru, Sadhu and Shastra, it is not possible for us to come to proper conclusion. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu advised, when Balabhadra Bhattacharya asked to see Krishna at Kaliya Daha, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu mercifully slapped him, saying, "You are a learned scholar, but you became a fool, being influenced by the statements of other fools." So now this is the whole point, that we should not emotionally take any decision. Somebody may do some magic, somebody may say some big statements, or they may even forecast something, but those are the things by which we cannot come to a conclusion that he is God. So this is the point. We have to verify this with the scriptures and the bona fide devotees who have experience. So Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami continues. He says, why would Krishna appear in the age of Kali? Foolish people who are mistaken are simply causing agitation and making a tumult. Do not become mad. Simply sit down here and tomorrow night you will go see Krishna. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu exactly know that there are some devotees who are going to come and then they're going to explain what is the actual incident. The next morning, some respectable gentlemen came to see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the Lord asked them, have you seen Krishna? These respectable gentlemen replied, at night in Kalia lake, a fisherman lights a torch in his boat and catches many fish. From a distance, people mistakenly think that they are seeing Krishna dancing on the body of Kalia serpent. So these fools think that the boat is the Kalia serpent and the torchlight are the jewels on his hoods. So people also mistake the fisherman for Krishna. Actually, Lord Krishna has returned to Vrindavana. That is the truth. And it is also true that people have seen him. But where they are seeing Krishna is their mistake. It is like considering a dry tree to be a person. Now after this incident, there will be so many verses after verses explaining how that Krishna who has come to Vrindavan, actually it is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami goes on to explain about his complexion, how he is a sannyasi, how he is preaching about the name of Lord, how by his preaching, how by his chanting the names, how people coming in touch with him, they are transformed, they have given up their lust, greed and anger, and they are all surcharged with love of God. All these qualities will be explained. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will immediately he will just actually cover his ears when they say Vishnu, Vishnu, and then he will leave it. This the Lord himself, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he himself sets the example and shows that a jiva cannot be God. But then that Lord is showing example, and then further after the devotees explain like that, then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will be internally pleased after the devotees actually they understand actually who is the Supreme Lord. So this is a good warning that is given for us. So in our Krishna consciousness movement, we try to understand things based on sound logic and also specifically based on the conclusions of the scriptures. So that is why we have so many books written. All the books are based on the Guru Sadhu Shastra, Chitete Koriya Aikya. So this is what Sri Narottama Das Thakur says. So based on the conclusions of these three, we accept the supremacy of the Lord. We engage in devotional service. So that is why we should not be lazy in trying to understand the conclusions of the scriptures. So this is what Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami says. So Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami says that if we become lazy in trying to understand the conclusions of the scriptures, then our mind will not be fixed on Krishna. So yeah. So otherwise then we will become weak. So many people will come with so many different explanations. So we may be carried away. So that is why it's very important for us to clearly understand the difference between spirit and matter, and then the controller of both spirit and matter, and then understand the theistic knowledge very clearly presented by our acharyas. So that's very, very much required. And also, just to highlight another point here, Srila Prabhupada also, there is also another nice incident in Chaitanya Bhagavat mentioned about, a definition is given about who are those people who don't have faith on the Lord, or a definition is given about Pashandi. So who is a Pashandi? Who are these agnostics? Who are these atheists? So just few verses about who are the Pashandis, and we may it may be of good realization for us when we move with different kinds of people. So as practicing devotees, we need to have compassion for the fallen souls. That's the mission of Lord Chaitanya, specifically the Hare Krishna movement. When we go and meet people, we want to save them, we want to help them. They are in so much immersed in ignorance. At the same time, we need to be very careful not to be carried away by their association. So we need to know what are the different kinds of people, where they are standing, what is their position. So in the scriptures, the descriptions are given about the different kinds of atheists. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, one time he was in he was performing Harinam Sankirtan, and then he was in great ecstasy, chanting Krishna's name. So one day he said that I'm not in great ecstasy. What is happening? Am I not feeling ecstasy because I talked to some atheists in the city today? So then in the Chaitanya Bhagavat, there are verses which shows that, so which explains that position of who is a Pashandi. So this verse is given as today's verse, as we see here, Yastu Narayanam Devam. Then few more verses from the Padma Purana, which explains those who consider demigods like Brahma and Shiva as the supreme lord rather than Sri Narayana, the lord of the entire universe, are certainly Pashandis. Enyam devam paratvena vadantyajnana mohitaha Narayana Jagannathat tevai Pashandinastata. Then it says, those who decorate their foreheads with ashes from the crematorium, those who carry the bones of dead bodies, those who wear non-Vedic signs, those who keep matted hair or wear tree bark, although they are not Vanaprasthas, or those who are attached to non-Vedic activities, are certainly Pashandis. These are all from Padma Purana. O goddess Parvati, those Brahmanas who do not decorate their arms with the marks of the conch and disc, and do not decorate their foreheads with the mark of tilaka, which are most dear to Sri Hari, are certainly Pashandis. Brahmanas who do not act according to the injunctions of the Shrutis and Smritis, who offer oblations to demigods like Indra rather than to Sri Vishnu, the only enjoyer of all sacrifices and the lord of the Brahmanas, and who disregard Vishnu and establish fruitive activities as an independent process for attaining the goal of life, are certainly Pashandis. Yeah, then he goes on to explain from a verse from Bhagavatam, one who takes a vow to satisfy Lord Shiva or who follows such principles will certainly become an atheist and be diverted from transcendental scriptural injunctions. So yesterday there was one person, he was claiming himself to be actually Shiva is supreme, he's and everyone else is servant. So Jagadishwar Prabhu was meeting a person. So finally, so he showed him who is supreme, and then he was showing some quotes from there, and then he was saying, sir, you see the scriptures, the different explanations of scriptures, you see the Bhagavad Gita, what it is explaining, what the Bhagavatam is explaining, you see for yourself, read, and patiently you try to understand. So finally, somehow or other he took the book. He was was not interested to take the book, but finally he had some rationale, he had interest to read and try to understand what it is. And also yesterday we met met a doctor he said he didn't allow us to come inside. He said, I'm an atheist. I don't like to hear about God or anything. So I said, this is about, we had this book, Science of Self-Realization. So it's all about the science of the science of about the soul and how the transmigration happens, and then about how we can lead a happy life. So everybody wants to be happy, and the whole science is explained here by understanding. You're a doctor, you know about the science of the mechanics of the body, but you please try to you are not aware of what happens exactly after death. So the science is explained here, and also we were explaining that how Srila Prabhupada is presenting that there are references from the scriptures, but also Srila Prabhupada presents very logically, explains with examples and analogies. So it's not proper for you to just read one side of, you have one side of education, but the other side of the education is about the spiritual education. The great transcendentalists, they are knowers of the truth. They have presented about the absolute truth, so, and the science of the God consciousness. So you please study. Without studying, don't reject it. So he just gave a thought, and then he took a science of self-realization. We were happy. So he said that he knows our Garudas, and for months, or not for years, he said that he used to call me to the temple. So, but I'm not coming. Maybe he was thinking about it. But the point is that yes, so many people have different misconceptions. They have no clue. But unless they hear from scriptures, and unless they hear from pure devotees, and they also think, and then by the mercy of devotees and the Lord, so this proper awakening will happen. And also that also people will not be carried away by so-called gurus who claim themselves to be God, and also the so-called Mayavadis who claim themselves to be Narayana. They say that actually you are Narayana, I am Narayana, everyone is Narayana, the poor beggar in the street is also Narayana. All these so many different misconceptions. So all these misconceptions can be completely cleared away by hearing from proper scriptures. So in this verse, so we see here that Garga Muni actually, he points out that this boy is actually Narayana himself. But here in this case, it is the Supreme Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Garga Muni actually enhances by pointing out that you be very careful, take care of the Lord very nicely. In that way, more the intense affection they have for the Lord is increasing, is playing a role by increasing their affection for the Lord, so that they will take care of the Lord with great affection and love. So that's what this verse says. Then, as I explained, these are the verses which again being repeated in the 26th chapter, after Krishna performed this beautiful pastime after lifting the Govardhana, when the Vrajavasis went back to Nandamara and started glorifying him and then asking him, so how is it that your son is doing such amazing activities? So same verses are repeated there, and then there also this conclusion is given that that Krishna is such an amazing. There is no one equal to him, and there is no one above him. And also, as we saw in the verse 18, that the Nanda Maharaj, I mean the other the disciples of Prabhupada in the purport, they are pointing out. So it is the wise person or the intelligent person will always be on the side of the Lord, or as the verse says, Pritim Kurvanti Manavaha. So develop love for Krishna, and by developing love for Krishna, be on the side of Krishna. As also Srila Prabhupada in the purport of the first chapter, he explains that what's that? Esham Jayeshu Panduputranam Esham Pakshe Janardanaha. So victory is always on the side of devotees who are on the side of Janardana, or the victory is always for the Pandavas, as the verse says. So this is the whole point. So yeah, by studying the Bhagavatam and hearing, so ultimately we have to develop love for Krishna, and this is the perfect process. So Srila Prabhupada has given the perfect process of hearing from the bona fide scriptures, chanting the holy names of the Lord, and then absorbing ourselves more by distributing this knowledge and helping others to take up this Krishna consciousness. And also we see many places Srila Prabhupada says the purpose of the Krishna consciousness movement is to absorb our minds in Krishna, develop a proper understanding of Krishna. It's different definitions Srila Prabhupada gives. So that's what here in the different purports Srila Prabhupada is elaborating on that. And we are very fortunate to hear from Srila Prabhupada. Otherwise this knowledge is very, very hidden. It's very secret. As we see in some of the verses also, this is not this cannot be known otherwise. We are actually very conditioned. We are struggling with body, mind and senses. We are completely on the bodily platform. What we can understand from the 10th canto, what is that? At least the acharyas are giving us the whole nectar, the whole spiritual abode. So by their mercy, we will be able to, we can just have a glimpse of it. And by their mercy, we will be able to gradually elevate ourselves. So we will stop here. If you have any questions or comments, or any realizations, any other point, can please add. Yes, Prabhu.
Muni is mentioning. Hare Krishna. So in the purport here, Prabhupada is saying that Garga Muni is trying to impress on the mind of Nanda Maharaj, and he is making one statement here which says that you must always remember that whenever you want to do something very good, there will be many hindrances.
Oh yes.
So this, I mean, is this the effect of Kali Yuga, that when you want to do something good, there are hindrances, or what is the explanation for this? Because we see that we are also trying to, build a big temple, and there are always so many, so many obstacles we are trying to overcome and trying to do something. So what is it? How is this happening?
So what is that? My understanding is that. That actually, yeah, you have different, if everything comes very easy, you may not appreciate the value of it. And then when you really struggle and work hard and then depend on the Lord, begging for His mercy, always thinking of Him, then that also increases our intensity and affection to the Lord, and then our faith in the Lord and like that. And also, I don't know, there is a beautiful reference, which there is a Subhashita, means anything that is good and auspicious, always one has to get that. One may have to go through different difficulties. There is a saying like that. That is also there. One of the acharyas, they are quoting that. So this is the understanding that yes, that there are difficulties, and then the devotees take pleasure in doing that. By that, actually, they perform the austerities to please the Lord. So in that way, you can also make sense that if something comes very easy, then we may take it for granted. We may not really appreciate it. But when we really strive, work hard, very much struggle, and then our dependency on the Lord increases. So this is what is my understanding. Yes, Prabhu.
Just before you say that, I mean, what I was trying to say is that it is almost like you are discouraged to do anything good because there are so many hindrances.
I remember reading Srila Prabhupada said that when somebody tries to become devotee and tries to leave material world, even demigods will place the obstacles. It's the nature of material world. Maya's job to keep us bound, and then, as he said, this is opportunity to show surrender and dependence of Krishna. But the very nature of material world is that bind us, and even devatas, they don't somehow or other envy or something. I don't know what is it that somebody is going for moksha, then place obstacles. So, Hare Krishna.
Anything else? Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Hare Krishna.